TCL statements, but mainly we'll focus on DDL and DML because we have to enter data into the database and then manipulate it. So basically, we used SQL statements for that.
Yeah, cool. So whatever you talk is quite too much there that we need right now with web development for handling the database in the backend. So as Mayuk said, SQL is structured query language. So what we do is we use queries, basically some SQL commands to organize, add, manipulate the database. Okay. So the main important thing about SQL is that it is a relational database. What does a relation with a database is? It's a collection of data items with predefined relationships between them. So how do we do relational database use? How do we use relation database in SQL is like we make tables. There are columns and rows. We call it attributes and tuples. We will talk about it soon. So what happens is the columns or the table is related to other table. The columns are related in this way. The content of that database is related to one another. Basically, the table is related to other. We will talk about it, how it is done, and all the stuff. Okay, uh, any doubt like is it the it is clear, right? What is SQL is quite clear.
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, cool. So we have to talk about few things like what is data and what is database. It's quite simple. Like I would like any one of you to define on their own. So any volunteer? Simply just data and database.
Data is a raw text or information which we have, whereas database is a collection, is a like database is something where it is a collection of data.
Yeah, okay. So it is a location where data is stored basically. Or the data is stored where it is called database. One second. Sorry for the interference. Okay. Uh, as Mayuk said, what is data? Data is raw values, facts, figures, and input. Just a second, guys. Sorry. Just give me 2 minutes. I just got into something. We will continue soon. Just 2 minutes. Huh?
Oh, wait, I'm actually back right now. Till then, have any of you heard of the Microsoft Student Learners Ambassador Program? I mean,
From Internshala?
no, not Intenshala, from Microsoft themselves.
No, no.
So basically, you fill in that form based on your inputs that they ask for a video, they ask for some uh, inputs from you, and based on what you give them, they'll have like a screening process. Probably they do it 4 times a year, I think. So right now they are taking in applications, and
Can you repeat, Kunal? Microsoft?
Microsoft Student Learners Ambassador or just MLS or something. Wait, I'll
Okay,
just put the
okay.
link over here.
Microsoft Student Program.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so basically once you their form that includes like you make a video of there are three criteria like teaching, inspiring, and other one I forgot. So based on that topic, you make a short video and you upload it. So and then they will screen it and see whether they want to take you under this program or not. So this one has three tiers, if I'm not wrong. There's some gold, there's some silver or something. Once you, if they do select you, you will be in the gold tier, and then to like level up, you'll have to do some sessions on your own. Like you have to conduct workshops. What do you gain out of this, right? So there is a bit of a stipend part once you do, climb up the ladder. Other than that, you get access to all the Microsoft events, like they invite you to their events, and whether be it online offline, you have access to it. Uh, there are much more. I myself just discovered this recently. I'm applying to it right now. So I just wanted you guys also to know, so you can check it out as well. It's not Microsoft alone that has this. GitHub has as well. GitHub is going to start this 2022. There's Google, obviously. Uh,
Do you have links for the Google and GitHub ones right
uh,
now?
yeah, sure. I'll look them up right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you can try applying to this. Don't be discouraged if you don't get selected. They keep doing it frequently. For GitHub, it's I think twice a year. Microsoft, it's 4 times a year. So keep applying until you get it. This is for GitHub, and yeah, AWS also has one.
हेलो सो कुणाल और कुछ बाकी है
Ye- Yeah, yeah, you can go ahead. I'll just put the
कूल
links. You can
हाँ
continue.
ठीक है सो यस ओके so we just talk about data and databases so there is a table. Let me share the screen and we will talk about it. हाँ बोल हाँ sorry guys okay it is visible right. So let's talk about tuples and attributes. Let me show you some diagram if possible. So it will be easy to understand it. So here, so what do we in when we basically you can see here. I don't know why it is not enlarging. That is okay. Cool. So these rows are called tuples. Each record is called tuple. In this row wise, this is called a record. It is one record, it is single record, and it is called a tuple. The columns which has some values, it has data types and all, which defines what type of value a tuple is having the record in the record. So it is called attribute. So all these columns are called attributes. Between these columns, they are related with certain predefined relations. Is called therefore this is called relations. So this tuple attribute thing is clear. Clear. Am
Could you
I
repeat it
audible
once
right?
again?
Yeah, sure. So whenever we do we store our data in a database with SQL, what we do, we make tables. So the table is having our columns. These vertical boxes, cells are called columns, and these horizontal ones are called rows. So in this we store our data. So whenever you make a table, like see this, you define some give some identity, some name to the columns which define what is stored in it. Okay, so these columns are called attributes. One of them is called attribute, and similarly rows are called tuples. So if I take one row, it is called a tuple, which is it carries a single record. It stores the data for a single record with different attributes. Uh, this tuple is having a single student ID, name, login, and age, and all. Okay, and all these attributes are related in some manner, predefined relations. It is called relations between them, and that's why we call it a relational database. Okay. um, So,
Yes,
you guys
got it.
heard of RDBMS, Relational Database Management Systems? So, you will be studying about it in further classes. Basically, we do it with SQL only. This is what DBMS, Database Management Systems, system actually. So, it is actually a common type database that stores data in tables similar to this, and it can be used in relation to other stored databases, data sets. Like when we let's talk about it further when we talk about primary keys and foreign keys. So the main important the where you will be using all this is this XAMPP on the PHP MyAdmin panel. So this is the most important. This is the only place where you will be using about these SQL, and you might use in cybersecurity when you are in that or data management systems. So for now, what we need is just some basics of it to operate with our website's database. So where should I go? Localhost, PHP MyAdmin. Okay. So you guys are familiar with XAMPP, right?
Like, have all of you installed it?
Maybe it's giving some error in my system.
All right. Where exactly? Like when you go into the link, or is the control panel not opening?
I've downloaded and installed XAMPP, and now it's after clicking start, it's saying error starting XAMPP stack.
Uh,
You cannot calculate
So
MAC
are
address
you using
something.
MacBook or Mac OS?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, Mac OS.
it might be some port issue. You're using Mac OS, right? So I actually don't know how to fix it, but one of our friend knows. I will ask him to tell you. He was also getting this, I guess, same
like
error in the starting.
it's just showing it's not able to
So
start the server, right?
Stack, yeah.
So, let's see.
yeah, same thing happened with
Can
me.
I suggest something? I also have a MacBook. Instead of downloading the 360 MB package, I think you should go with the 160 MB. And after doing that, it has been set up for me.
All right, so it's working for you, right?
Okay. From the
Yes.
from the website or from somewhere else? From the website is down. It's not downloading the DMG file. It's downloading some random archive, and it's not opening.
No, it's
Yeah,
it's doing. It's downloading the.
could you share the DMG file with me? I'll send you my email.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So yeah, Anshu will help you with it. So for now, just look at it how it is done. So first of all, uh, let me take you some basics GUI and GUI things. So whenever you click on new, you can create a new database. And for the basic thing is you have to give a name. So creating a database, we can do it with SQL is by doing a simple command called create database and its name. Create database and its name. Let us name the database as SQL sample. Uh, Here go. So it says that uh, yeah, it empty result set because we have not asked for anything in return. We just created a database, and if I refresh this, I should be getting an SQL DB SQL sample. See here, the database has been created. So if you usually what you will do, you will go to new and give a name here. Like I should give a name random. Delete these later. So I just create a database through a GUI. Similarly, a random name database is here. Okay, this part is clear, right, guys? I'm audible. You're getting it?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, cool, cool. So now, what is the important thing after creating a table is, creating database. That is that we create tables. So what should we do from? First, let me show you with GUI. Okay, I want to show you some other things also. So let's just name it sample table, which has 4 columns, that is 4 attributes. Okay, you just have to click go with when you are using graphic user interface. So now there are 4 columns. Okay, now I just want to show you with the graphics and interface, then we will go, do these things with SQL commands. And this is very important because you will be using XAMPP like this only most of the time. And you will need query in when you will in Node.js, when you will using that JavaScript for inserting queries and using the database uh, with the uh, front end, actually basically that. So let's create a student database. First I will need student ID, student name. Okay, so what is a type? Type is just data types. You guys are familiar with data types in previous I guess you guys are familiar with it because we have talked about it in JS as well, and a lot of it is there in C++ and N. Anyone is there who don't know about it once again? Okay, which part? Which part, Stuti? I couldn't get it. Which part? Can you just tell me which part do you want to know? So, um, Stuti, can you open a mic? Okay, anyways, just I will just show you from the starting where we have to create a database. So whenever you open XAMPP, you will come localhost PHP myadmin. Then last part. Okay, let's. Did you get till starting XAMPP, right?
Yeah.
Okay. After going to PHP myadmin, go to new. After clicking on new, you will be creating a new database. You just have to put the name of the database and then create. In this way, you will be creating the database, and then you will be able to see that database here in your left panel. This is here. Can I explain it once again? Okay. Uh, After creating a database, you can go to here. Like we created random for the GUI reference. Now here we have to create tables. We can create multiple tables in SQL. So you have to give a. I'm creating a table, sample table. Yes, Bhaiya. मौसम भैया.
Mozam, where are you here?
I guess it's by mistake.
Okay, all right, then we can just continue.
Yeah, sure. So after giving a table name, I will click on go, and I will get this type of panel in the structure. It is in under structure tab. Okay, so where I will be giving name of the columns, different columns of the table. Okay, so for now, here I will be creating a basic database for a student details. First, I will give student ID. So now we will talk about data type. Okay, where data type. So what I want is that ID to be in integer, an integer, or I can go with a varchar. Varchar is basically a variable character. It will contain all the characters in a variable manner. Like it will be like just like 123 hash and something like that. 123 hash ABC. In this way, it will be having an value. This is called varchar. In text, basically, we will have text data type. Date in date, just most of the time in the system, in the how your system is there, in this way, in this format only, you will get a date. For whenever we have to get date, or when we will be using like when we want to, when the database created, we can use date data type. and rest is quite familiar: decimal, float, double, real. And tiny int, whenever sometimes when you will like to use that 0 and 1 type of things, you can use tiny int. String is their character. You can just go through all these after some time, but all these are not important. You will just need few of them. Here in this, you can just set the length of the characters, or the how much characters you would like to take in that particular column as a value. So if I just put 10, it will take up to 10 characters. The default, what this constraint does is it sets some value uh, as default. Like if I am not providing any value for this sid, it will create put it as null, but I definitely don't want it to be null. So okay, now collation is not necessary. Attributes also, you're not going to use it in this. Indexes are some now let's talk about index. So it is primary, unique, index on. Okay, so primary key, whenever you want to set primary key, what does a primary key does is um, primary key, what it does is it defines a particular column as it should be unique, and like what unique means, like each row of that column should have different values, and the primary key cannot have null values, and a whole table can have only one primary key. There are three things about primary key: it must be unique throughout the row, throughout the column, it cannot have a null value, and there should be only one primary key. Okay, so what we do with primary key is that I just created a primary key. What it means is, if I create a primary key, then I can refer the table with reference to the primary key. So fine, others is not important. Just create, we do it fast. Name, age, and just take it as name, age, and height. So for name, I will take text. Let's just finish it fast. Just int. So after all this, rest is not important. I can let it be like that only, or I can just give some data here as well. Cool. It should be like this, 3 characters. Just save it, and the table has been created. Now let's just do with some inline SQL commands. So now I was like, let's do with the codes. So for now we will going through only SQL. Okay. And, so what I want to create a table. If we will using something else or some other software, we have to select the database as well. So for that, use database name. If we are using some other thing, some other software like MySQL for Windows that we used to work on, which is completely for database management. So in that, you will have to use this command. Use the database name is SQL sample. SQL sample, like that. You might have to use this type of uh, to select the database. So the zeros are affected. Just ignore that. Okay. So after that, what I want to create a table. Create table. These commands are very simple, like English language only. I just want to create a table. I will give a table name, um, ID, SID, and sorry, create a table. I will give a column name as SID. Its data type should be int, comma, name, text, comma, what do you do? Age, int. Last one is height, I guess. What we have created? Just let it random. Height is also int. Uh, this will create table. Now if I want to make it a primary key, what I have to do is uh, just a second. Guys, I'm back. It's okay. So now in this way I will be creating the uh, table names. Now I want to create sid as primary key. So what I will do is I will just do write a keyword which is primary key. It is not necessary to be in capital, okay? And in which I will write the name of the column which is sid, okay? And then I will set it go. Okay, I guess I left with creating this. You are whenever an aspect syntax will be another responsible.
I guess in SID after int, you can just mention primary key and then space a comma. It will work.
Yeah, okay.
After the
Uh,
data type, you can just press it.
you're
Like
already in
right.
SQL sample, right? So I don't think users needed.
I missed something, I guess. Like yeah, yeah. Sorry. Okay, let me see. Table name. Okay, there's a problem here. I haven't specified the name of the table. Student. And then in the bracket I have this column name. Just like that. And primary key is here. Now what is the issue though?
I think what Mayuk said we can try is like primary key
That is
next to.
all. That is one of the way to write it actually. You can just write that also, but it is just one of the way. Also, the method is
Do you
not
think it's
different.
a semicolon after use SQL sample?
I guess so, but in SQL, I guess semicolons are not that important now. Syntax is right, but still great.
Okay.
Line 5.
Int height, there should not be a comma in the last statement.
Yeah, there it is. Well, it was already there now.
Yep.
Small details are the problems.
Yep.
just review this code again. So, okay. So create table is that I'm telling you to create a table and then giving the table name. In the parentheses, I will define the columns with the data type, and if you want to keep it as a primary key or not. So this is one of the way, and other way is that after this I can just put that the primary key as at and then in the bracket I will just tell it to tell the name of the column the way I was writing the in the previous one. Okay. So in this way I have created the table. Also, let me show you something. Here in the structure you can see a tables has been created. When I click on the student here, I will get to I get to see the columns here. That is SID, name, age, and height. So now what I want to do is I would like to put some values in it. Okay. Uh, so how can we do that? Is I will select the table and then put the values in the selected columns. Or what I can do is without specifying the column, I can just put the values in this sequence, like in the sequence in which the column has been created. Okay, let's select. Okay, so this is a statement. Should we talk about it? I do not. Let's not talk about it. So what we do is the select command. What it does it selects some columns, or the star means it selects all the columns from the table student from student. Here we can change the name of the table, whichever table we want. Where this so this is nothing where first of all we should provide some values to it. Okay. So there is a command which is called update. I could have put the values when I just created the table as well, columns as well. But with
I
this
guess that should be insert, right?
insert into, I guess, yeah. No, we can do with that also. Insert into is a way, and uh, update column is also a way. We will do the both. Okay, let's start. So, what was the table name? Student, right? What I'm saying, I want to update the student table and set. I want to set the values of uh, what was the name? SID as 1001. What was the other name? Name as, and then the other column is age, and last column was uh, okay, sorry. This was for that. As Mayuk said, is right actually. I just forgot it.
Update is for the column,
Changing the
changing the column
values by
properties. Yeah.
selecting, and yeah. So what I will do is I will do insert into table name is student, and with the parentheses
Column
after
name and
table name
values.
with the parentheses I will just give the values. Select the columns. Either I can select the columns, or I can just put in the like in the sequence. So let's do with the column way. So just first I can give the column names, sid, name, uh, age and height. After which I will write values in the same sequence is 001, name is Himanshu, age is 9, and height let's be duplicate entry 1 for primary key. Have I created it before?
Just delete it.
Yeah, I guess there is some value already or not.
You mean the browse section?
Yeah,
It's already
it
created.
has value already. That's why the so what's the error is that the primary keys have got the similar value again. So that's why it was showing the error. As I said before, the primary key cannot have similar values in another row. So we'll create set another values. Okay, insert into table name. Now we will just go with the sequence. We won't put the column name as well. What's that?
Two,
Zero,
maybe two. Yeah, there is a two.
two,
Name.
Mars,
Then it was
20. We have to open 20, and then the height is
height.
8, 178. I will just create in Go.
Semicolon.
Okay. So now in browse we can see there will be another value set of values. So similarly, I would like to enter another data. Uh, uh, so anyone of you just tell the code if you guys can remember, recall it.
Insert into students.
Select
Values. Values. Bracket parenthesis. 3.
3,
Mouse
1000,
21.
21, height
1, 180.
180.
Semicolon.
Semicolons are not that important actually.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was missing it. Okay, now we are having three values. So can we do some operations on it? So there is something called uh, aggregate functions. So what are there that basically we can do some operations on the database we are having. Like we can count the number of entries in it in a column, or just the average of the particular values in it, or minimum, maximum, or sum. We can do these type of things with the uh, like this. Like in the age, if I want, I can uh, check for the average of these ages, or I can check for the minimum height or maximum height in this. In that way, I can do that. So let's try to do one of it at least. We're just so much time is taking. So the syntax is same for others as well. Okay. So what I will do, I will select command. What it does is It selects the values from uh, the table. Okay, so what I want to do is select sum. I would like to sum the ages. Select sum. What was the age, right? Column name, and then from after using select, what we have to do is we have to,
I guess you have to mention the table name
yeah,
first.
yeah, that's what I was talking about. So after the select command, what we have to do is we have to provide from where you want to select it. So for that we use from, and then we will specify the table name. Okay. Uh, the last thing about it is the where condition, but I don't think we will need we will need any where condition here. So let's see where is the output. Sum of age is 60. So it is giving the value of that operation that we did as 60. Okay, is this part clear?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so anyone else other than Mayuk, uh, is it is clear for others as well? Is it clear? Sakshi, Krishna?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Cool. Okay, so till now we got to know how to create a table, how to create a database, how to create a table, how to put values in a table. uh, Now we let's talk about a where condition. So this is one of the form. Okay, so what I want asterisk. What the asterisk is, selects all the columns. Select all the columns from student where I want to where age is greater than 18. I will just put this condition and let's see what it shows. It gives me the the records of all the entries which are having their age value greater than 18. Similarly, if I go there and change this to age is greater than 19, what I will get is go button. This that Kunal and Mozam having age greater than 19, which is 20 and 21. Okay, so this is how where works. Where is like the if condition we use in normal programming. So are you guys clear with where? Clear with the where condition? Cool. Uh, is there anyone having any doubt till now? Okay. So there are few more constraints that we talked about earlier. We won't be using much of it right now because we have created. Let me show you in that random thing. Mm, okay. Let's here. So now if I want to create another table, create table random one, random, in which I want just to let me show some just properties of it. Uh, let us just create some ID. What I want, I will just put not null here. What it does, uh, ID after ID, I just to put int not null. It is a data type, and not null is a constant that that defines and tells that this field cannot be null. We have to always provide some value for this field particularly. Okay, and after that we know about primary keys already. So basic thing is that only. I just want to show this code, and there is just what else we can have, a class section. Okay, section. If I put unique, what it does, it is quite different from primary key. You just have one value. What unique does is just tells the SQL that see this in this field I want every row to have a unique value for this column. Basically, unique does that only. So that in this way we won't be having a duplicate entry for a particular thing. We can use in many other ways for some ID. If we don't want to relate to tables, we can use unique instead of primary key. But it is better to always create a primary key whenever you're creating a table. So let's go back to SQL sample table database, and in which let's create another table. We'll create a table teacher, in which I will put TID of data type int, or we can go with varchar. In bracket, I will specify the that length that we talked about. Varchar contains any character in a variable manner, so I want it to be up to 10 characters. The teacher ID should be of 10 characters, and name, it should have t name, that better to specify, and it should be text. Uh, let's it Let it be primary key of this table. Just have, I don't think much is needed except it. We'll talk about all these. Okay, let's just go. So now I have two tables. One is student table and another is teacher table. Now, um, what I will do is just create a foreign key for our student. Okay. So what I will do, I will select the table. For referencing, I have to alter the table and just tell that show alter table. Alter table, and table name is student. I will add a column. What should we add? Class. And then we will set it as not null and try foreign key. Let's go. Set it as foreign key. Okay, what I have done is I have altered the table. The alter table command, what it does, it alters the table, or the table we have defined already, and adds or does some other thing to it. Like right now, I just want to add another column to it, name class, which is having in data type. And let's set this its length to up to 10, 12 characters, and it is supposed the foreign key of that table. Okay, for uh, I have to do a reference of this foreign key. Uh, it is a reference from, have we created a, let's wait a second. First, let us create a class also in teachers. Alter table teachers. Table teacher, and class int So what I've done, I just created a name class in teachers table. Now S class, I will just name it S class. For in student table, what I'm doing, I am making it a foreign key which is referenced to uh, another table, that is our teachers table, in which I will be using the primary key of the teacher. I haven't created the primary key. I don't think so. Yes, it will be wrong. Wait, it is wrong. Yeah, it is the primary. Okay.
I think you have to specify which is the foreign key, right?
Yeah, right now I'm just using this now. That's why I haven't specified
I
the
think
name of the brackets. The name
that
of the.
it didn't work.
It is not working. I don't know why.
Maybe add the column and then put a foreign key.
No, it has to be done at once, as far as remember.
Wait, uh, the table add column.
Yeah, I am adding the column. Okay, it's like it's not like that. It's like this. Wait,
Add
add
column
for
name and
key.
data type.
Okay, let's create a class first. Now what I will do, I will just add a foreign key here. Foreign key S class references teachers class. Okay. No, why not?
Uh, alter, I think, alter table and then the name of the table.
Yeah,
Uh, add foreign key and then the which column should be the foreign key references the second table name and the column in that.
I have done that only.
Okay. Uh, it should work.
I'm missing.
Foreign key constraint is incorrectly typed.
Wait, let's see the structure first. It is having a foreign primary key and
I guess first you need to add the column, and after that you can declare
I
different.
have added the column as class in it. Actually, I'm doing that only.
Which one?
This
The S
column I just
class.
added, and then I am putting a primary key on it.
Is the same column there in the other table as well? Because the column name should be same. The primary key in that column should be the foreign key in the other column. In that column, is there a S class?
No,
The
in there.
primary key in that table is TID, I guess.
So the
Yeah,
foreign key over here should be TID.
Yeah, exactly. The primary key in table
yeah, I
one is
tried
the
that
foreign key in table two.
just before. It was not working.
Uh,
Yeah, the key ID only.
wait. Can you show the table structure once, please?
Um,
No,
okay.
what he means to say the foreign key column in the students table should not be S
Okay.
class. It should be TID instead.
This
Are you
is
seeing that?
SID.
Yeah. So in
And
the
which
SID
one
is
is it?
primary key for the student table, and for teachers table, the primary key is TID.
TID, yeah. So basically, what Mayuk is telling is TID should be the name of the column in the student table as a foreign key.
Yeah,
I,
exactly.
okay, cool.
So modify, I think it's modify command, right?
Alter,
No,
I
first
guess.
I have to
Alter.
add the table now.
Yeah,
And
first add that column.
you can just rename a column.
TID.
TID.
Cool. And then add this as well.
Yeah, exactly. This should work. Wait, what's the error?
Okay. Same error, I
Alter
guess.
table, alter table, alter table student.
Four classes will be fine. Same.
Acha, okay, we can do a small thing.
What?
Is there any data in that second table?
Yeah. No, that might be the problem, I guess.
No. Is there any data?
No.
Just delete the table direct. Just drop the table. We can create
Okay.
the table and it will be
Okay.
easy.
This way, let's see the drop command as well. Okay.
Yeah, and drop.
So there's this. Whenever you want to
Just,
drop the table, just
just,
drop and
just
then
remember the column names. TID.
yeah,
Yeah, just remember the column names.
just drop and the name of the table you want to drop. Drop table and table name.
Yeah.
So they are asking for as a warning that yeah, it will be deleted. So I wanted to delete. So you can see the table has been deleted. Okay, the basic super command drop. Okay. Similarly, you can drop a whole database as well. What we're seeing, Mayuk, is
Yeah. Can I was saying that? Do you remember the column names? One
yeah,
was
I remember.
TID.
Yeah, TID, name and class.
Just a second. And what is the primary key in that table?
And student or
Yeah, student.
it is SID.
SID, right?
Yeah.
Wait. This was like this is the layout. You can just add the appropriate column names. I'm just getting confused.
Let's see.
Yeah, just primary key.
What are you doing?
Name, class was one was added.
Foreign key, it shouldn't be SID, it should be, I guess, TID or something. Class.
No, the primary key in table 1 is the foreign key in table 2. That's for sure.
So in this way, I have to use TID, no? I cannot create both at once. There should be SID as well, then only I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
create.
yeah. Sorry, yeah. SID int. Yeah, the third column was for SID only. Int.
Wait a second. Check on the structure, what was the value of SID? Into.
SID, foreign key. SID.
Yeah.
Parenthesis. Yeah, it should work now. Line 3.
We are not like.
Yeah.
So let's just check it once and then we will talk about the code first. Okay, cool. So this key represents the foreign key. So now let's just see what Mayuk has sent. So in this, just we are just creating a table as before. In just that, there should be a same table name in both the tables that we want to relate. And for making a column as foreign key, we said that this table should be foreign key with a reference to this table's SID. So we are just telling that this column of this table teacher has to be a foreign key and be referenced from student tables SID. These two will be same as the values as well. Okay, what else to be done after that? Let's just put some values in this table. uh, okay, now I want someone else to just put this insert into command with some values. Who will do? Sahil. Sahil, are you there? Who else is there? Stuti, are you there?
I mean, you don't have to get it right. You can just give it right.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be right. You just I just want someone to just tell this the code we have used it that command before as well. The insert into command. I just want to put some values in the teachers table. So any one of you is there except Mayuk who would like to accompany with me with that.
I mean, it's okay if you're wrong. You can see, like, we ourselves have to Google a lot. You can't remember
Yep.
everything. So eh, you feel free to, just try, just give it a try. Chitanshu, Sakshi, anyone?
What do you have to do, Bhaiya, basically?
Just we want to do that insert into command again, right? Before we what we did, we just put some values in the student table. Now I want to put values in teachers table. There are these values in teachers table, like TID, name, and SID. Okay, these are the columns. I want to give the values to these columns.
We can
So
just separate the columns in.
do you remember that insert into command, Sitanshu? Sorry, Sitanshu or Sahil?
Insert into then the table name and
Yeah.
then
So this is what we will be doing to put the values in the teachers table. So tell me, what is the command?
We
insert
just
into.
insert into
After that,
After
values
that,
table.
the table name
yes. After that,
and then the column name in the bracket.
okay. This is one of the ways. So do in that only.
And instead of writing the column name, also we can just write the values in the next line.
Yes. So let's do that also. Put something in the chat box. Let's see. So Sakshi has given the syntax. Yes, it is the syntax. You've given the right syntax. We will be doing that only. So just tell me the values. There are three columns: TID, name, and SID. SID should be same as before. Okay. Let's do it. Let's teacher's ID be 111. Name. This tells me a name for teacher. Anyone?
Sundar S.
The S. And SID, we should have that SID in previous as well. So I will go with,
Either 1, 2, or 3.
yeah. So I will go with 1. So now just put another value in it. Uh, First we have to change the second. Where's the value for? Let me put the laptop in charge. So just another teacher's name. Anyone? Now I will take a student. Okay, so another thing is student SID here is not, it is not a primary key, so it can have similar values again. Okay, you guys get this point, that I can have many other values as SID, for similar values of SID in the teachers table. Okay. Okay, nice, Mayuk. Let's put this one as well. So okay, let's okay, let it be. Change the name. I have used 222, so I will be using 444. I guess I will use 333 as well. Now let's look at our tables once again. Okay, so uh, this is the which table it is? Student table and teachers table. Okay, so the main purpose of using foreign keys and primary keys about doing the join command. So okay, so today the time is too much. I have taken too much time. So it is not a big topic. There's just one part we will be having left join and right join and basics. By it's not much. There is just one line of code, I guess. but it will take time to learn because it's quite important. You won't be using just right now. Uh, you will be using it in when you will do after some time actually when you will working on Node.js properly. So we will talk about it next session because I'm telling you it's already 1.5 hours. So any doubt till today? What we have gone through is creating a table, uh, then altering it, inserting values, where conditions, uh, and the basic definitions of the stuff, and their aggregate functions. The syntax for the same aggregate functions are same. You will get the materials and you can see that in it. There's nothing much. The basic terms are there like average, count, minimum, maximum, sum, all this. And we have seen the select command, delete. Let's do a delete command. Okay. Okay. So what I will do is I will delete some. Uh, I will delete a row. Okay. So like select, I will be having delete. Then I will tell from where I want to delete from teachers. I don't even know teachers value. Let's delete from student. Let's delete from student
Where
where
SID
yes where SID
equals 2.
equals to what was the value of SID 1 I guess.
1, 2, 3, anything also.
Okay, so it is asking me for if you want to delete that student ID with SID 1. Okay, I want to delete it.
Double equals, I guess.
Didn't I put the double equal to it? Just then.
I don't. I think it's just a single equal.
Yeah.
Delete from table name. Well,
Just a single.
It should be one. No?
Yeah, just try it.
error.
Yeah, I mean,
What's the error?
yeah. Basically, I think the this
Okay,
value is associated with
Okay,
another
so it is a
table,
foreign
right?
key, I guess. SID is foreign key. I will.
Yeah. So we need to put that on delete cascade. So since it has a relation, we can't
That's
delete it directly.
yeah. What we can do is I can use name as Himanshu. I have used capital letters.
That relation is still there, right? I mean, it needs to be a cascade. Needs to be enabled. Uh, I mean, see, whenever you're creating a foreign key, and you know when one table values will be changed, basically you just put a foreign key and references to that table, and you just put an additional statement called on delete cascade. So if one relation, wherever it has a relation, in the following tables also it will get deleted. So it's like a cascading deleting over there.
So for
Yeah,
that,
you have to do it in declaration statement only.
declaration
Yep.
statement also.
Yeah.
So let's do it in random only. We have created another table now. So here we can delete that sample table. So are we having a value here? So no values. Just put some values in sample table first, and then we will delete it. Insert into sample table values. SID is 12. Some name, age, and height. Okay. Clean column. Okay, cool. The values have been put there. Now I will delete that. Just click on the server now. Okay. So there are values in the table now, which is SID is 12 and name and this. Now I will delete this row, this record with the delete command. Delete from sample table. sample table where uh, SID equal to 2. So now that one record that we had just created has been deleted using that command. So uh, anyone is having the problem with that commands, like what we just talked about some basic things that we will need in creating working on the database. uh, Actually, we are done with it. Anyone is having any doubt? Any part actually?
While learning SQL like this might be a bit boring, when we start doing the projects, that time we'll get gist of it, how
Yeah,
useful like SQL is in terms of the it's forming relationships with other tables.
we
Uh,
got to see in the next session. I guess so we can show
uh,
you something
Before
how
that, I
to.
just want to share something, like a quick sneak peek into what we'll. I'll just share my screen. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So, in the next session, Himanshu will cover the somewhat advanced topics. They are pretty straightforward. The concept is pretty straightforward. The left join, right join, inner join of SQL. That will cover that. Along with that, what I've planned is like we will start working on our full stack project. Like we'll plan what we want to do, right? On what type of full stack project do we want to work on. So before we do want to do that, I just want to show you like when you're starting a full project, there's a lots of planning that goes into it. Right? So this was my forms project. Like here I noted down the features, and even for like storing the data, you need to have a database plan over here. So what we basically did was we first made a database schema and try to make a relation of where what data will be stored over here. Once we made this, then only like we went ahead and started writing the SQL uh, syntax for creating those respective tables. After doing this, then you'll come to your local host, right? So in your there, once you put in those that statements that you wrote for creating those tables, here we'll you can come to the designer over here and you can see like what like the PHP MyAdmin itself shows you what type of relationship your tables have with each other. So in the next session, we'll be covering a bit of advanced topics in SQL, and we'll try to come up with a full stack project idea that we can work on that involves HTML, CSS, JavaScript, whatever we learned, the Node.js, and even creating our own database from scratch and connecting it all together. All right. So I just want to give a sneak peek. Like it's a you should be it's a really thoughtful process, and and why you shouldn't directly jump into coding directly. So we'll get into that in the next session. So any doubt as of now? I mean, you can put in the chat box also. If not, you can feel free to share it in the group as well.
You can ask that out now, or if you want, you can just uh, put it in group or DM any one of us. So for now, just a simple task